All right, so we're going to, for week 4, we're continuing to practice mole conversion. This assignment is due Tuesday, April 7th at 8 p.m. That's today, all right? So I'm gonna do 4 questions together, and then you'll only have 4 more to do on your own. So you should have a periodic table and a calculator to do these problems. All right, so before we actually get into the practice problems, I want to just go over the steps or kind of the rules to solve these problems. All right, so remember for these problems, step 1 is always to find the molar mass of the given substance, okay? And then for step 2, when you set up the equation, you have to see what you're given and then what you are trying to convert it to. So if you're given grams, if you're given mass, and you need to convert to moles, you're always going to divide by the molar mass. And if you're given moles and you need to convert to mass, you're always going to multiply by the molar mass. All right, so keep that in mind when you do these problems. And you can see my example problems up here, but I'm gonna go straight into the practice problems. All right, so number 1, it says how many moles of Li2O, lithium oxide, is in 21 grams. So we're given 21 grams, but our first step is always to find the molar mass of our given substance, right? Li2O. So lithium is 6.94. So I'm going to multiply 6.94 times 2 because there's 2 lithiums, and then I'm going to add by the oxygen's mass, and I get 6. So I'm going to do 2 times 6.94 plus 16, and I get 29.88 grams per mole. All right, so let's set up the equation. That's the second step. So we're going to start with our given. We're given 120 grams. And remember, if you scroll up and see the rules, it says given grams, given mass, and you need to convert to moles, you're going to divide by molar mass. All right, so I'm going to go back. So we're going to divide by molar mass, which means we're going to put the molar mass on the bottom and mole on top because we want the grams to cancel out. So if we plug this into the calculator, it's 120 divided by 29.88. It's going to be 4.016 moles of Li2O, lithium oxide. All right, so that's number 1. I'm just gonna square answer. All right, let's do number 2. It says how many grams are in 0.8 moles of CuSO4? All right, so we need to first find the molar mass of CuSO4. So I'm gonna look at the periodic table. Copper Cu is 63.55. Sulfur S is 32.06. And we have oxygen, but we have 4 of them. So I'm going to multiply times 4, 16 times 4. If we add it all up together, we're going to get, let's see, 32. We get 159.61 grams per mole. All right, so how many grams are in 0.85 moles of copper sulfate? So we're gonna start with our given. We're given moles, right? So, and we want grams. So it's different from number one, right? Number one, we were given grams and we had to convert to moles. But number two, we're given moles and we have to convert it to grams. So we're going to multiply this time, right? And put our molar mass on top. Grams per mole on the bottom, moles cancel out. And if I plug that into the calculator, I get 135.67 grams of CuSO4. That's my final answer. All right. Let's move on to number 3. All right. Number 3. It says how many grams are in 8.6 moles of nitrogen gas. So we're given nitrogen gas. So we want the molar mass of nitrogen gas. That's easy because nitrogen is 14 and then times 2, it's going to be 28 grams per mole. All right, you might have gotten 28.02 if you rounded it differently, but I'm just going to use 28 grams per mole here. All right, so we're given 8.6 moles and we're trying to look for grams. So this is a multiplication problem. I'm going to put molar mass on top, mole on bottom, and I get 8.6 times 28. That's 240.8 grams of nitrogen gas. All right, so, and let's do one more, right? Number 4, how many moles are there in 450 grams of MgOH2, so magnesium hydroxide? Let's solve for the molar mass of MgOH2. Magnesium on the periodic table is 24.305, so I'm just going to round that up to 3.1. We have oxygen, but how many oxygens do we have? We have 2 of them because that 2 gets distributed. So we're going to do 2 times 16 for oxygen. And we also have 2 hydrogens, 2 times 1.01. I'm going to plug that into the calculator. 2 times 1 plus 24. I get 58.33 grams per mole. All right, we have the molar mass. So we're going to set this equation up. We're going to start with our given value, which is 450 grams. We are given mass and we want to solve for moles. So this is a division problem. So I'm going to put the molar mass on the bottom and mole on top so that the grams cancel out. So when you plug this into the calculator, it's going to be 450 divided by 58.33 grams, and I get 7.71 moles of MgOH2. All right, so I just went over 4 problems out of the 8 that you have to do tonight by 8 p.m. All right, so I want you guys to look at the examples to help you through the rest of the problems. Let me take questions. All right, how do I...